This video is brought to you by Raycon.
Ooh. Oh, candy canes, silver lanes, Christmas aglow, and the lights and the snow, and Santa on his way in his big fat their sleigh with his reindeer. They're coming all of the day. It's Christmas time in the city time, but also in the country time, in more rural areas also as well. It's alight with the wonderful Christmas smells. Stockings, presents, all under the tree, and the reindeer and lights and the toys and the presents from Santa for you and for me. Orchestra swells. Christmas time. Christmas time. It's fine. Okay, bring it down. It's finally Christmas right here. And if you all see that you and me, it's Christmas. Silver bells, candy canes, mistletoe. Bring it down again. Mistletoe, lights, reindeers, and tree. Reindeers and tree. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's time for the yearly wish list video. Yay, yay! I don't remember the year I started doing all these holiday videos, but I feel like I've been doing them for a pretty long time now. So those of you who've been around for a while, you know the drill. This is the wish list video. I'm going to talk about all of the things that I wish for myself in the year of 2026. We're gonna start off with Nintendo, because Nintendo, I don't know if you've noticed, kind of my thing, and then I will kind of touch on my outside of Nintendo wishes for next year, and then I will go over all of the stuff that I wished for last year and see which wishes came true this year being 2025, but I made the wishes in 2024 about 2025. So now in the 2026 video, I talk about the wishes for 2025 that I made in 2024. Let's go! Wish number one. We know that we are getting a Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 edition next year. Nintendo already revealed that it's going to have a little bit of like multiplayer content, and it is going to be getting some sort of single player content as well. My wish is that that single player content is kind of substantial, you know, because like as usual, I'm not a big multiplayer guy. I want some good single player stuff. It's Mario too. Like, just give me like this game needed DLC. It was ripe for DLC, and it did not get DLC. I want more challenges. I want some more wonder effects, maybe some more badges or something. So yeah, I was a little disappointed when they revealed the multiplayer stuff. So it's like, my wish is that we get a good amount more than that. I'm not getting my hopes up because, like, I don't know, the multiplayer stuff, it's still content. They still made it. It still adds value to the game, so they may not feel as inclined now to do as much single player stuff. I really don't know, but this is my wish list, so my wish is that there's a really good amount. And speaking of Switch 2 editions, you know I'm wishing for a Pikmin 4 Switch 2 edition. Good rhyme. And the whole situation with this is obviously very confusing because Nintendo just gave the game a free update, but that update did not include a performance boost patch, but it had new features. So it's like, if you're going to give it an update, why would you not update for performance? That makes me think it's got to be getting a Switch 2 edition. But if it's going to get a Switch 2 edition, why would you not just wait until the Switch 2 edition? All that stuff. It's weird, but whatever. It's a wish list. So I wish for that very much, that in addition to the update that the game just got, we also get a full-blown Switch 2 edition. Obviously, the biggest wish is like some really substantial extra content. Level editor is literally always the thing that I will wish for, but I would take anything. I would just take like a new area to explore or something. I mean, even just a good amount of Dandori challenges would be something, you know? But if all of that doesn't happen, then at the very, very, very least, even if it comes weirdly late, can we please get a performance update for the game so that it runs really well on Switch 2? I think it would look so very lovely. And speaking of performance boost patches, what's like the one term I'm supposed to be using? There's a lot of words that could kind of describe it. Speaking of that kind of thing, obviously there are plenty of Switch games that could use performance enhancing free updates, but at this moment I'm thinking of a little handful specifically, and they all just happen to be re-releases of GameCube games. That's a little bit funny. Thousand Year Door, obviously higher frame rate would be number one, but then even just those beautiful visuals in 4K, that would look absolutely fantastic. Pikmin 1 and 2, they don't necessarily need such an update. The games already look really good with the slightly simpler graphics on, even just in 1080p is pretty good. But whatever, I'm wishing. So I'll take the full thing. Mainly though, it's Pikmin 3. It's Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Like, the deluxe version did not improve the performance whatsoever, which was really weird. I thought it would get a slight resolution boost. I don't know. If it did, I couldn't tell. It's still rather jaggy. So Pikmin 3 Deluxe is definitely something I would like to see running better on Switch 2. And then Metroid Prime Remastered. It's just such a nice looking game. It's almost too good looking for the Switch. You're like, I wish I could have it at a higher resolution. It would make it look really obscenely good. And speaking of Metroid, in 2026, we will find out how Metroid Prime 4 sold at launch. And I wish that it will get a lot of sales, that many people will have purchased the game by then, and we will have numbers that make me happy. I just really need this, okay? I just really need this game to do well. And then speaking of Metroid again, at this point, I'm not getting my hopes up that we're gonna get Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remasters / ports, really anything. I mean, it just kind of seems like if they were gonna do it, why would they not have done it now? They remastered Prime 1, then they released Prime 4. If there was a time for 2 and 3, see, like there's 1 and then there's 4, and then 2 and 3, they go between 1 and 4. Would have been perfect, but I don't know. I wish that in some form, maybe next year, we do get Metroid Prime 2 and 3, even if they're just ports. As long as you update the controls and stuff, I'm fine with that. You don't need to do the full remaster thing. Just give me an easier way to play those games. And then last Metroid wish, I did wish for Metroid 6 this year. I knew it was probably not really likely at all. I still think it's probably just a little bit too early. Especially, coming off the heels of Metroid Prime 4. They probably want to space it out a little bit more, but I do think that 2026 is when it is the most within the realm of possibility. Like 2026 is a year where they could announce it, especially if they announced it next year and it came out the following year. I don't know. It just feels a lot more possible now. That will be enough time after the release of Metroid Dread that I think we could. Probably won't, but we totally could, and it wouldn't be super weird. So yeah, something Metroid 6 related in 2026 would be awful nice. And then this one's gonna be on the list until it comes out. Luigi's Mansion 4. It's just so ripe. It's just absolute. It's a fruit on the tree. It's bursting. It's juicing. It's practically exploding. It's just a Luigi's Mansion 4 announcement is completely imminent. 3 came out in 2019. Next year, that's 7 years. Nintendo bought Next Level Games. I mean, honestly, there's a fine chance because we are due not only for a Luigi's Mansion game, because as always, 3 sold really well. They're definitely gonna work on a new one, especially with Nintendo buying them. But then they did Mario Strikers, and it's been a few years. So it was Luigi's Mansion 3, few years, Mario Strikers. It has been a few years since then. So we're overdue, or we are due for a Next Level Games game and a Luigi's Mansion game. I mean, obviously, I can do the full-on predicting in the predictions video. But for now, I will wish that in 2026, we get Luigi's Mansion 4. And as long as I'm wishing, I would like it to come out next year, you could announce it next year and release it in 2027, but you know, I wish to play it in the year 2026. Before I make even a single additional wish, I must remind you that this video was brought to you by Raycon. It's the holiday season, and that means holiday deals. Raycon is offering up to 20% off their products, and you know what? I think a pair of Raycon Everyday Earbuds Classic would make a pretty darn good present. They got all the features you expect, up to 32 hours of battery life using the charging case, multi-point connectivity, multiple sound profiles, the ability to easily take calls. Plus, they've got active noise cancellation like Raycon's other latest models. But the whole thing is wrapped up in a package that has the look and feel and buttons of the original Raycon Everydays. This is definitely my favorite model they've ever put out. They're still the comfiest earbuds I've ever used. I can basically wear them all day. They come in lots of fun colors, lots of case options, and they come with a 30-day happiness guarantee, so you got nothing to lose. Head to buyraycon.com/Arlo or hit the link in the description of this video or scan this QR code to get up to 20% off your purchase. And please remember to order by December 15th if you want to ensure shipping by Christmas. Very important. Thanks again to Raycon. I now wish that you will enjoy the rest of the video. So the Mario Galaxy movie comes out in 2026, and my wish there is that it's really good. You know, I really enjoyed the first Mario movie, but not everybody did. It was like a little bit divisive. It was definitely like a lot of it was kind of just perfunctory, inevitable Mario movie stuff. But now that we've kind of like, we've broken that ice, we can get past it and focus a little bit more on telling like a better story or whatever. Yeah, it would just be really nice if it would just, it was much better received by a much wider audience and we could all celebrate it and have fun and just say it was, I mean, we're getting a Mario Galaxy movie. I still can't believe it. It's crazy. Yeah, I just hope it's real good. I hope we can all have fun with it. I also wish that at the beginning of the movie, we get some sort of short. I'm still surprised and saddened that they did not take the opportunity to put a short at the beginning of the Mario movie, like Pixar style. Obviously, Pikmin would be really nice, but we did just get a Pikmin-related short, so I'd also settle for something else. It would be crazy to see any Nintendo IP that's not Mario or Zelda, but on the big screen, because, like, it's a short. That's the thing. This is an opportunity to expose these big audiences to some Nintendo IP that itself may not be a big enough deal to make a whole movie out of, but, like, you can get it in front of people. You can get a billion eyes on it or whatever. At least a good few tens of millions of eyes on this thing. So, like, I don't know, give us a Kirby short. Give us a Star Fox short. Just like, I don't know. Obviously, a short is like a smaller budget. It's got to be a relatively, like, small scenario. But yeah, I don't know. It could be anything. Just like do a little short about, like, Samus on her gunship or so. I don't know. Something. It's like the Close to You short where Pikmin are, like, messing with somebody, but it's Samus on her gunship between missions. That's what I want at the beginning of the Mario Galaxy movie. And then finally, Galaxy movie related. Around the movie, there are going to be interviews with the people who made it, Miyamoto. And in one of those interviews, I want them to mention the idea of a Galaxy 3 and once more being like, we're not ruling it out. They just, just feed us a little crumb of hope that Galaxy 3 could happen someday. Moving on, I don't want to bring up like all of the Nintendo controversy discourse stuff right here, dig too deep into that, because then that just like becomes the whole entire conversation. But at the very, very least, I wish that in 2026, we don't get any more $80 games. Like Mario Kart is the one, and it kind of freaked us out. But Nintendo's been putting it in the bundle and discounting the bundle, so okay, most people who own that game did not pay $80. However, the next time Nintendo just says, here's a game, flat out, it is $80, that's not gonna be a happy day. So I hope that it's gonna happen someday, but I hope 2026 is not the collection of days where that day lands. Please and thank you. And then, as always, basically every wishlist video, possibly going all the way back to the first one. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. I'm always wishing for something really new from Nintendo. Something just like really genuinely new. Some sort of big new, like AAA, really high production value, like a brand new IP, but some sort of like mainly single player adventure game. Cause as always, I explain every year, like, you know, they put out new IPs, they create new properties, but they're most often like smaller projects or like kind of side stuff or like primarily multiplayer. It's always multiplayer, but I feel like a multiplayer game, it's not going to appeal precisely to me. It's not going to appeal as much to me. Just some new, like, adventure, a new character, you know, like just a new character who goes on, who just has a big game, you know? I think I enjoyed Pikmin so much on the GameCube, and I've been waiting 24, 25 years to replicate that experience of Nintendo just being like, here's a brand new game with a brand new idea featuring a brand new character, and it's gonna spin itself off into a whole series, and it's just like a regular old single player game, and it's really cool. I want that again. I'm waiting for that to happen again someday, and it has not happened really, so maybe 2026. Something like in the Nintendo style, you know, not just any old game, like something that like some character who sits really comfortably beside Mario and Link and Olimar and all the, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, whatever. Moving on. Oh yeah, so that's really it for Nintendo. So now I can touch on some outside of extra Nintendo stuff. And I really actually don't have that much this year. I've not been paying like a ton of attention to like all of the different things that are already confirmed to be happening next year. And you know, a lot of the things that I'm into, I just, you know, like Resident Evil, like, okay, well, that's coming. And I don't have any wishes for it because I'm sure it's going to be perfect. I'm sure it's going to be really, really great. And then like FromSoft, you know, I'm really into them. But Dusk Bloods is coming out in 2026. I assume that's going to be their only major project. So there you go. It's already kind of laid out. I mean, of course, you know, if I'm wishing, I do hope that Dusk Bloods is something that I end up enjoying. I've been through this whole song and dance enough times with like multiplayer games that I know that like, at the best, I'm going to have some fun with it for a bit and I will enjoy it and then ultimately put it down because I don't have enough time to really compete, you know? But at the very least, I can hope that that does happen. You know, I hope that it launches and I really do enjoy it at least enough to have like that week or something where I'm playing it. I hope I'm not just immediately just absolutely booted from the entire experience because I'm just so bad at these games. You know, I wish that there is something there for me to grab onto and enjoy for a while. And then Bloodborne, obviously, like just obviously, right? Like just that's another one that's every single year, just like a Bloodborne remake, remaster, just like whatever. Can we play Bloodborne? A more modern version, it'd just be really nice. I also hope that we see more from Fumito Ueda's next project, Project Robot. I'm not getting my hopes up. The teaser that we got at the Game Awards last year really did make it feel kind of like it's probably gonna be a bit. It didn't even really have a release window. Oh yeah, I should mention, at the time of this recording, the Game Awards are coming out in a couple days, so I don't know, like, some of this may be outdated in a couple days' time, like the day after this video goes live. I'm not sure, but yeah, at least right now, I'm not counting on seeing Project Robot in 2026, but I do hope that we do. And again, as has been the case, probably every single wishlist video, the obligatory Play Dead Project 3, they did Limbo, they did Inside. Inside is one of my absolute favorite games of all time. It's one of the only games I've ever played that I think is literally perfect, and we've barely heard a thing. In the last, like, year or two, we've gotten more from them than usual. We've gotten like a couple more like little, are they screenshots or are they concept art? Not 100% sure. So it's like things may be kind of ramping up. But at the same time, it's been 9 years. My review of Inside was one of the first reviews I ever did. So once you reach that long, next year it'll be 10 years. Yeah, 10 years since Inside. So you reach a point where, yeah, you know, you just reach a point where, yeah, you know, and between Project Robot and Play Dead Project 3, I think it's pretty obvious I have something of a thing for minimalist art games that never release, that just take forever to like 10 years plus to come out. It's one of my favorite genres, I guess. Then very vaguely, I wish for something in 2026 that absolutely surprises me. Just some game from a completely unknown source, maybe even just like a developer I've never even heard of before, a game that I didn't even know was coming, but it hits me and it just hits me just right, and I just absolutely love it. Just some sort of random surprise new favorite video game. That would be kind of fun. And then my last wish is that GTA 6 gets delayed again, because I think it would be so funny. So that's it for next year's wishes. This year's wishes for next year. That's it for those. So now we're going to talk about last year's wishes for this year and go over how much stuff I actually got from my list. Was it a lot? Was it a lot? Not really a lot. Is it ever really a lot? No. Was this year more stuff than usual? Probably not. Was it less than usual? I don't know. I'm not actually tallying all this stuff up. Yeah! I predicted that we would get a 3D Mario at launch. I was on that train. I was riding that train for a long time. I did not end up being correct, which means I also did not technically get my wish, though I will say we didn't get a 3D Mario at launch, but we got a 3D DK very, very close to launch, and I would certainly argue that it was basically just as good as a 3D Mario game, so that was pretty great, and I also wished that if we didn't get a 3D Mario at launch, that we would get some sort of really, really excellent, just perfect launch title, something really great. It's just a definitively perfect launch title, something that gives everyone a reason to go and get a Switch 2, and that it would be the biggest launch of a video game console ever. Did I get my wish? It's slightly complicated because Mario Kart is a system seller. It's like the #1 Nintendo system selling game possible, but then it came out and people kind of had problems with it, so like the whole thing was a little bit weird, even though it did technically sell really well, because yes, this actually did end up being essentially the biggest console launch ever by plenty of accounts, but then you also have all the controversies and stuff, so I'm gonna give that one a yeah, came true. I wished that when playing Switch 1 games on Switch 2, there would be some sort of like universal performance boost mode. To be fair, it was probably a little bit unrealistic for all that to work right out of the box. We didn't end up getting something for every title, but we did get full backwards compatibility, and we did get performance patches for a lot of games, and I imagine that we will continue to get patches for games, you know, for however long, probably even for years. But then there are plenty of games that actually do just run better on Switch 2, like games with uncapped frame rates. Those tend to do a lot better on Switch 2. Load times are better on Switch 2 as well. So it is technically true that out of the box, there are plenty of games that didn't receive any kinds of patches that do still technically run better on Switch 2. So, you know, kind of came true. I had a lot of Switch 2 related wishes, obviously. We still didn't know what the thing really was yet. I wished for a separate eShop just because the Switch 1 eShop was such a mess and so full of nasty slop. I was hoping for like a separate shop and for better moderation. We did not get a separate shop. It is all basically the same eShop. However, it is a lot better now because the eShop itself is just a lot better. We may have better moderation. We don't technically know yet because a lot of devs like there really aren't a lot of Switch 2 dev kits out there yet. So it could be that we're going to get a lot more slop in the future, but it could also be that Nintendo is doing a better job of moderating because they did mention that they were going to, they created some new rules, guidelines for the content that they would allow on the eShop. So it kind of signaled maybe that things are getting a little bit better. We really don't know yet, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And then, of course, as always, I wished for something really new from Nintendo, although I did specify this time either something completely new or a new use of an old IP. You could argue that DK kind of fits there, you know? Like, they gave DK a big, full like the 3D Mario treatment, but for DK. It's not exactly something, like, totally new, but I don't know. That wish half came true. Let's just say that. When the Switch 1 was fully revealed, Nintendo also revealed a lot of games, and a lot of those games ended up taking so many years to come out. Like in 2017, we had the reveals of so many games that we had to wait a good long time for, some multiple years for some of these. So my wish was that for Switch 2, they didn't do that. They almost exclusively revealed stuff that was coming out pretty soon. If in 2025 they revealed some 2026 games, it was just a couple. And yeah, no, they totally did. They did exactly what I wanted. We know a couple things that are coming out next year. Some of the games are going to be Switch 1 games coming out next year. So as far as Switch 2 goes, there's not a whole lot yet. So hooray, wish came true. I wished that Metroid Prime would be good. Jury's still out on that. A lot of conflicting opinions. I myself have not been able to play the whole thing yet. I like what I played so far for the most part, but yeah, again, we'll see. Don't know about that one yet. And then, yeah, selling well. That's the thing. Is it released so late in the year that we have no idea at all how it is selling. So we'll probably just have to wait till next year. So yeah, jury's still out. And then, I mean, yeah, we're just repeating the stuff that I just said earlier. Metroid Prime 2 and 3 ports. No, we didn't get that. Metroid 6 tease. I knew it wasn't very likely in 2025, but I still wished anyway, because whatever. We did not get that. I wished that Pokemon Legends ZA would be only good. Just a great game without a lot of controversies. No, did not happen. However, I also wished that it would be cross-gen, and wow, look at that. Wish came true. Oh, miracles do happen. I wished that Nintendo would start really expanding their visual stuff. Like specifically, I was hoping for a show, because we're getting these movies. I wanted them to give us a show. They did not give us a show in 2025. However, they did give us a short, or rather 2 versions of a short, which is really cool. And they have promised that they are ramping all of this up. They were talking more specifically about movies, how they want to release them regularly, but that still counts as them ramping up their visual content. So I think that's like 85% a win. And then my non-Nintendo wishes, I wished for Resident Evil 9 in 2025. We did not get Resident Evil 9, however, we did get the reveal, and it's coming very early 2026, so that's basically there. And it's really funny, because in last year's video, I was even saying how I didn't know if I wanted the next Resident Evil game to be first person or third person. I just I couldn't really decide, and I was like, well, maybe could they have the option for both? Do I even want that? Turned out it's both. It turns out it's both. You got an option for both. So awesome. I wished for a Project Robot reveal, and you know what? We got it. I got that one. We did not get a 2026 window as I was hoping, but obviously it's a wish list, so you kind of gotta go out on a limb. But we did get an actual gameplay. We got real gameplay for Project Robot in 2025. So yeah, that's a real win. Then there was Play Dead Game 3. Moving on, I hoped that 2025 would be a better year for Sony. We would just see a lot more good stuff coming out of the company. I hoped that they would announce at least one single game that I cared anything about. And we got Concord, so moving on. Yada yada, Bloodborne, blah blah blah. I talked about Night Rain a little bit. I was like, it was basically the same as my Dusk Bloods wish. Night Rain, it's multiplayer Elden Ring. My wish was that it would come out and I would enjoy it and have enough fun. You know what I did? I did. I didn't play it as long as I really wanted to, but I played it for a bit and I did have fun. So that worked out. It is always fun to see a little teeny tiny indie game become just a random overnight smash hit. So I was hoping for another one of those in 2025. We didn't get one from a really tiny little unassuming one-person game. Those are always the most fun. But Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It's a medium-sized game, but it still kind of came out of nowhere and was still a really big success. So yeah, no, that was absolutely pretty cool. And then finally, I wished that 2025 would be better to game devs than 2024 was, with all of the mass layoffs and AI replacing jobs and game cancellations and studio closures and stuff. And didn't get that wish. Sorry. Maybe next year. Well, that's it for this year, for next year's wish list video that I did this year, that I recorded this year. It's for next year. Hope you had fun. Wowie. Wowie zowie. What a fun video. I think you had fun. Yeah. I think you did. Oh. Do you hear that? Sleigh bells. Oh, and they sound silver. Oh, stockings hung with Christmas tree. Mistletoe for you and me. I hope that Santa brings his sleigh tonight. And it's Christmas time and Christmas wearing a sweater that's not too tight. Oh, hey, reindeer games. What's a reindeer game? They wouldn't let him in his reindeer, just like games that reindeers play? Or is it like a special kind of games? Was it a movie? Reindeer games? That wasn't about Rudolph, right? Yay! Christmas tree and silver bells and presents. Woo! Merry Christmas 2025! Ah!